Tina, thank you. And along those lines, no changes in the starting lineup for East Carolina. Kentrell Barkley leads the team, averaging just under 11 points per game. And for UConn, Vance Jackson is coming off a career high. In your career, did you have 6 scholarship players?
I don't think that ever happened, to be honest with you, Andrew. I mean, we always had 11 on scholarship, so maybe we had a couple of guys that never played, but there were guys at least you could put in the game body-wise. Kevin Allen's going to have to go to walk-ups.
Yeah, certainly foul trouble, a big key for UConn tonight. They have to limit the fouls.
And they're such a great defensive team. They like playing man. They're going to have to throw a lot of zone out in this game, I would think.
Bill Covington, Andrew Walton, Kelly Self are our officials tonight.
And both teams are among the leaders in the American Conference in defense. Both are tremendous defensive teams, man-to-man wise.
And at the bottom of the league in terms of offense and points per game. Brima trying to get UConn on the board. Turnaround is good.
You know, with Amita Brima and Andre Washington should know this. He's a shot blocker. He averages 4 blocks a game in the American Conference. You got to take away Amita Brima's left shoulder. He loves going over that way.
So Brima's already matched his point total from Thursday at SMU. 2 points in 15 minutes with the early foul trouble as Caleb White misfires from 3, but we have a whistle. And it's going against Andre Washington, his first.
Kevin Ollie told Amita Brima before the SMU game, listen, you can't get in foul trouble. We have 6 guys, and he picked up 2 fouls early. Kevin Ollie not happy with him, especially for a senior. That should not happen.
Yeah, Ollie said he has to be smarter. Even go back to the Georgetown game last Saturday when Brima fouled out. He only played 21 minutes in the last 2 games combined. Jackson at the free throw line. Good defense by the Pirates. 8 on the shot clock. Facey, baseline. And Facey took too many steps at travel.
They're really watching out for that. He changed his pivot foot there. That was a very good call.
East Carolina won its first game in American Conference play. They defeated USF. They have not won since. They've dropped 5 in a row. Freshman Elijah Hughes getting the start again. His shot won't go, and it's been the big problem for East Carolina, averaging just 52 points per game in league play, and Jackson travels.
And neither team a good three-point shooting team. Caleb White, the best three-point shooter for East Carolina, has really been struggling. Rodney Purvis, the best three-point shooter for UConn, he's really been struggling.
Now, you mentioned White in conference play. He's shooting 11% from beyond the arc. And Purvis in his last 3 games, just 2 of 11 from deep.
And Caleb White's one of the leading scorers in the history of East Carolina.
6th on the all-time scoring list.
When you play against a good defense, you have to move the ball from side to side. Make that defense have to move.
Washington's hook shot is good, and the Pirates are on the board.
You know, here's the transfer from Wake Forest. More of a defensive player, but that was a pretty good move with the left hand.
He only averaged 1 point per game last year with Wake. He's up to 7 this season. Getting an opportunity to see more minutes here at East Carolina. Facey's shot won't go down, and the rebound to Barkley. He wants to push. One of Kevin Ollie's keys when we met with him before the game, limit Barkley in transition. The 18-footer is good for Kentrell Barkley.
Kentrell Barkley is East Carolina's best all-around player. He's in the top 3 on the team in scoring, rebounding, and assists. One of those guys who does a little bit of everything.
Just a sophomore out of Durham, North Carolina. Jackson, nice feed. Facey couldn't throw it down. Hughes, coast to coast, the lay-in is short and corralled by Jackson.
You know, that was not a bad attempt because I think East Carolina in particular, being on the road, has to try and get some easier baskets.
Brima with the touch. He's got all 4 for the Huskies. Well, that's what Michael Perry said. He said, neither team's shooting well, so easy baskets have tremendous value. That's why transition tonight is a big key. And a foul on Purvis.
Now you're going to see Kenton Facey, a nice slip to the basket, and pretty good defense there. Andre Washington, he gets up there. One of the leading shot blockers, as we said, not only in the league, but in the country.
54 blocks coming into the night. That's 7th most in the country. And Purvis comes out. Christian Vital checks in.
And this Jeremy Shepard, I really like him. He played so well off the bench against Cincinnati. He's one of those two freshmen that we talked about in the open.
He's got the ball here. Out to Barkley. Fakes a three. And they send it back up top to White.
This kid is quick. He can go to the basket.
Shepard, 16-footer. Barkley, the offensive board, put back in the foul. Brima is called for his first, and Barkley will shoot when we come back.
Well, you're getting a good look at what Kentrell Barkley is. A guy who does a lot of trouble. Tell him, guess what? You can't pick up one. Not when you pick up one, don't pick up the second. Don't pick up the first one. And he's got to be very careful.
And Kevin Ollie has already put Brima on the bench. He's not messing
good
around.
Move. I think that's a great move.
He's put Purvis back into the game, so Brima will watch. Something he's done a lot of the last couple of games because of foul trouble.
And now they're playing basically with 4 guards. I don't know, maybe Vince Jackson's a 3-man, but they got a very small team in the game right now. And Purvis got reek on him.
Purvis's jumper is good.
And you know, East Carolina likes to switch screens, and what happens is Riak ends up with Rodney Purvis. That's not a good matchup.
A massive size advantage now for East Carolina.
I mean, you got to think they're going to try and go into Andre Washington a little bit.
And Riak also has Vital on him. Now there's a switch. Shepard for three. And the rebound to Kenton Facey.
He's got to get better at that. That's going to be the key step for him as a player to learn to be able to knock down that three-point shot.
Purvis fakes the pass and cannot hit the three. Tipped around out of bounds to ECU.
Well, Riak ends up switching to Rodney Purvis, as you can see right there, and they really didn't need to switch that. That's part of their philosophy, though, but he's got no chance at being able to guard Rodney Purvis there.
85th consecutive game for Rodney Purvis, the senior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Caleb White scoreless last Sunday, the last game for ECU. When they played Cincinnati, White was 0 for 7. This is Washington inside. Washington blocked by Facey. Good defense by the senior Facey. In transition, Purvis, and he'll go to the line.
Well, give Kenton Facey a lot of credit in that he made Andre Washington go to the baseline side to his right shoulder where he's not that comfortable. He wanted to go to his left shoulder, and he just brings the ball back right in his face. And then Purvis taking it to the basket. Well, not a lot there. I mean, a little bit of a bump. I think Rodney Purvis kind of sold that a little bit.
No, when you're a senior, you kind of develop those acting skills. You've been through a few games. Purvis averaging 12 points per game this year, but only had 2 on Thursday night in the loss at SMU. I think SMU showed quite a few people what they're all about if you haven't been following them, as they pretty much handled UConn from start to finish.
Tough on both ends of the court, and now we're going to see that 2-2-1 three-quarter court press, which is a good move for UConn, especially since they have such a small team in the game.
White floater is good. Caleb White with his first bucket.
You know, that's the danger of pressure. You open up the floor, and they did a good job, Caleb White did, of taking advantage of the open floor, making a floater.
Jalen Adams coming off a season-low 3 points against SMU, and he gets the roll on that one. UConn leads 10-9 with 13:30 to go in the first half.
That looked a little bit like our open in terms of him using that pick and roll there. And he's so shifty and so smart with the ball. He's able to score on that one. Other times he makes his teammates better.
Tough shot by Barkley. A strong take from the sophomore. Back and forth we go in the early going. East Carolina has never played UConn in this building. They did play in the AAC tournament against Other competition, count that one for Facey in the foul.
Well, great job there by Kenton Facey being able to finish a curl off the screen, which put Andre Washington out of position because he had to give a little bit of help on that, and he lost Facey.
And that's the second foul on Washington. So the 7'1" transfer from Wake Forest with some early foul trouble, and he goes to the bench.
It's amazing what a good cut can lead to, even when the cutter doesn't get anything, doesn't really get the score. But because he makes a good cut, it makes the defense have to do certain things and lose somebody else, and that's what happened there. That's why moving without the ball is so important. Even if you don't score, somebody else might if you have a good cut.
Shepard guarded by Purvis. Jabari Craig and Michel Nzigi into the game for ECU. With 2 on the shot clock, Barkley beats it.
This kid is tough. And he's not a great shooter, but he'll make them if you're not on him. Now, that was pretty good contest there.
His last 3 games shooting threes, he was 1 for 10. Drains that one with the shot clock expiring. Vital cannot match. Offensive rebound to Facey. Facey leads the American Conference in offensive rebounds with 3.2 per game.
Well, you're going to see Jalen Adams right here. Look at what he does. He draws the big man now. 2 guys are on him. So with those 2 guys on him, it creates all kind of confusion, and he's able to score.
Adams sees a lane and takes advantage.
He's such a good player, playing a lot of minutes. 38 minutes in the conference, and his conference stats have really gone. 3-point shooting, 3 for 20, but I think the minutes probably starting to get to him a little bit.
And a turnover by East Carolina. Purvis ahead of the field, and the throwdown. Ten of UConn's 17 points have come in the paint. Barkley, 15-footer, air ball. And Vital brings it up the floor. UConn leads by 3. Purvis wide open. Short. Offensive rebound to Adams.
Well, that was some weak transition defense. Rodney Purvis had all day to take that shot. Probably should have taken a bounce and got a little bit closer. There was nobody near him.
His struggles shooting the 3 continue. 38% last year, below 28% this season. Jackson for 3. Yes! Vance Jackson comes in shooting hot. Last 7 games, 51% from deep. And Michael Perry wants a timeout. It's a 7-0 run.
The one thing you can't do at UConn is...
And he said he learned a lot about himself during some of the struggles this year. And he said, quote, there will be positives that come of it.
I love him. I didn't love him so much when he was playing against me. But I'll tell you, he's a hard-nosed coach's coach. And now he goes to a 1-3-1 defense. They don't really do this that much, so he's really taking a lot of things and trying to mix things up here.
Good defense by UConn with Brima back in the game. Adams counted and one.
Transition. And this is what, when you're playing a team that struggles to score, you got to get back on defense. As I said, not have live ball turnovers and stop them in transition. This is exactly what UConn wants. They have 22 points with 10 minutes to go in the first half. That's an 80-point pace. I think Kevin Ollie would take that.
They had 15 points at halftime Thursday night at SMU. They've already surpassed that total. And I was saying all the quotes that Ollie gave us, I by no means think this UConn season is lost. I mean, this team was so young. They're going to gel, and they're going to host the tournament, the American Conference tournament, in this building. There's no team in the league that's going to want to play them.
That is the absolute key. I guarantee you, after the last games of the American season, everybody's going to be looking to see whose bracket UConn is in. There's no doubt about it.
White's jumper is off the mark, and the rebound to Adams, who's been very active early. Nice feed, Purvis to Brima, and another chance at three for UConn.
Transition. This transition offense is what is absolutely killing East Carolina. They're not doing a good job. You know, when the big man, when the 7-footer beats your whole team back, that's not good.
For more on Brima, let's go over to Tina Servacio.
Well, Andrew, you and Coach have been talking so much about the foul trouble that Amita's been getting in, and Kevin Ollie had a deep conversation with him coming into this game. He told him he has to be smarter. You know, of course, this is a kid that wants to be aggressive, so Ollie told him, you just can't be fouling guys 20 feet out. He said, only in the paint. If you're going to be protecting the rim, that's a different situation. He said the big thing is learning not to have the same foul twice as well. He has to learn from a lot of these mistakes, and Coach Ollie said Amita was very apologetic, but the best way to apologize is staying in the game. Andrew?
Yeah, Tina, the early foul that we saw, but he's back in there now with 9:30 to go.
Hey, you know what I did? You know, I used to drive me nuts when kids would say, my bad. No, don't tell me my bad. Just do it, all right? How about that? Forget my bad.
Jabari Craig can't finish down low, and Facey, who's having an incredible season with the rebound. What a dramatic improvement this year for Kenton Facey.
Oh, we saw him have his career high against Temple. He was terrific.
23 last week against Temple. Brima spinning on the baseline, and he's fouled once again.
Boy, that looked like a travel to me. I don't know. It looked like he took a couple of shuffles, but maybe he kept that pivot foot down. If he did, that was some pretty good footwork.
Yeah, Michael Perry, the interim head coach, gave the officials a look there. Instead, the foul is called on Jabari Craig. Well, from hoops to hockey, the diamond to the gridiron, the morning's most outrageous team has you covered. Don't miss Boomer and Carton, presented by Gillette Pro Shield. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Coach, you got a 12-point lead if you're UConn. You've only got 6 guys. If he goes to a 7th guy, it's a walk-on. Would you do it with such a big lead to try to buy some of your guys some minutes with this early lead, or you wouldn't put a walk-in at this stage?
Put it this way, no, I would just keep my pedal on the metal. I got to be honest with you. Just keep this thing as going as best I can until somebody says they have to come out. They don't have to come out. They don't come out.
Okay. East Carolina needs another scorer. Barkley has 10 points. The rest of the team has 4.
And look what Kevin Ollie has done. You know, he's switching up defense, he's playing some 1-3-1, the 2-2-1, trying to keep East Carolina off balance. And they haven't really had to run back on defense much. East Carolina hasn't got much transition.
Vital stepped out after the strip by Shepard, and the ball belongs to the Pirates. So we just mentioned, Barkley's got 10 of their 14 points. The rest of the team is just 2 of 12. And the East Carolina scoring drought is now well over 4 minutes. Pirates still can't get it to go. It's a 14-0 run for UConn.
And that was a good slip of the screen by Riak, but, you know, he's got to be able to hit the rim on that.
Macy on the wing, drives in the paint, fadeaway jumper is good. UConn is firing on all cylinders here in the first half. And it's against an East Carolina defense that has played well this year, holding Cincinnati last week to just 32% from the floor.
I mean, they played well against Cincinnati. They were in that game the whole way through. Everybody knows how good that team is. Tonight so far, they're not getting it done.
Foul on Christian Vital. Timeout on the floor. UConn has scored 16 in a row.
Games. In fact, Rodney told me she was kicked out of probably 80% of his AAU games for heckling the refs.
That's quite a story, Tina. Thank you very much. And you mentioned Tyreek Cogger, his friend who died over the summer. That's why Rodney changed uniform numbers this year. He was number 44, but this season, to honor Tyreek, he's wearing his number 15. The struggles continue for East Carolina shooting the basketball.
And UConn playing their 4th defense of the first half, going 2-3 zone that time.
Jeff Lebo who said after the last game he coached on Sunday, the loss to Cincinnati, as goaltending was called here. Jeff Lebo said his team is hoping the ball goes in as opposed to thinking the ball is going to go in.
Well, take a look here. Stop it right. Look at this position. You can't let a guy catch the ball that deep at this level and think that he's not going to score. They had the goaltend. That was going in the basket. I mean, you got to do a better job fronting when the guy's in that deep.
18 straight. Approaching 6 minutes where East Carolina has not scored, and they still can't get a bucket to drop. They're shooting below 30% in the first half.
That's good defense. That's exactly what he should have done the first time around.
Barkley can't finish. And it's kicked around to Jackson. 3-on-2 if UConn hurries. Purvis will hold it up. We asked Michael Perry earlier today about trying to shoot out of these rolls as Adams will have a chance at 3. And Michael Perry told us he put a greater emphasis on shooting outside of practice this week.
Well, that's a great curl into the lane. No help in the middle of the floor where there should be help. You know, this East Carolina team is a really good defense team, but tonight, defense has not been there after the first 5 minutes.
Adams in double figures already. He's got 10. It's a 20-point UConn lead.
I mean, UConn has 18 points in the paint, and most of them are not on post-ups. They're on straight-line drives.
Riak cuts, lost it, but a foul is called. Foul's on Jalen Adams, his first. Andre Washington remains on the bench for East Carolina with 2 fouls.
It might have been worth putting him back in at some point before now.
Riak in East Carolina has now missed 10 shots in a row, make it 11. Riak back out to Hughes, who will reset. Shepard, corner 3. Jalen Adams running right through the defense, but can't get that one to go. Up ahead, Riak gives it right back to Purvis.
That was a terrible pass. Right now, East Carolina making this very easy for UConn.
7.5 minutes without a point for ECU. Brima spinning on the baseline, it won't go.
They should have called a foul on Craig there. That's one of the things that was a point of emphasis in the season. Catch the first foul.
Finally, East Carolina ends its drought, which approached 8 minutes. It's Shepard, or rather Hughes, with the 3. Jackson guarded by Hughes. Fadeaway as well, short. UConn shooting 62% in the first half. East Carolina 24% from the floor. Hughes, nice move. He scored 5 in a row.
That kid has game. He can put the ball on the floor, get to the basket. Again, we said it in the open about him and Shepard's ability to drive, but must become better shooters.
Three and a half to go in the first. Purvis attacks, can't get it to drop, and the rebound comes to Hughes. Up ahead to Barkley. Barkley, and goaltending is called on Amita Brima. And there's a timeout on the floor. Still all UConn here in the first half. Points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for Jalen Adams, the sophomore out of Roxbury, Massachusetts. As we have 3:10 to go in the opening half. How about for East Carolina this year? When they have the lead at the half, they're 9-0. When they trail at the half, they're 0-10.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say they're probably going to trail today.
Looks like it. 7 on the shot clock. Adams steps into a 3, and it won't go.
That's where he has really struggled in the American Conference games. 3 for 20, 3 for 21 now in the American Conference from the three-point line. Those 38.5 minutes a game, I think at some point have to get to you a little bit.
Adams and Purvis, both among the NCAA leaders in minutes per game, and Barkley continues to impress in the first half.
He is a really good slasher. He's a tremendous ball handler, 6'6", strong, athletic, and being left-handed is always a pop. Right here he goes for the seam and able to make the athletic finish, and you see what Amita Bryma did there? He backed away. He knew that was a good play. I know it looks crazy because he made a layup. That was a good play by Amita Bryma to not foul there.
But they called him for the foul.
Oh, I didn't realize it.
Yeah, they did. It's his second.
He backed away.
I know. There was a questionable call.
Oh, my God.
Bryma
what am I looking
for
at? That's why Kevin Ollie, he's looking at me. I said, that was a foul? I can't believe that.
He stays on the floor with 2, but Vitale is at the scorer's table.
Oh, he tried not to foul there.
And a turnover by Jackson, up ahead to Hughes, and he has the finger roll for 2 more, and East Carolina has cut it down to 34-27. It's a 13-0 run.
And as soon as I said they're not gonna have the lead at halftime today, look what's happened.
Adams underneath the basket, hands off for Bryma, lost it going up, right to Facey, who puts it in.
We see now East Carolina looking to push the tempo a little bit, and that's allowing them at least to get something to the basket.
Barkley's had the hot hand. Out to Shepard, and a travel is called on the freshman.
Kevin Ollie's talking to Amita Bryma. I think Amita Bryma's saying, hey, I didn't touch him. He tried to back away.
Bryma out with the 2, and Vitale returns. And for East Carolina, Andre Washington never returned with the 2 fouls.
And I thought that was a mistake, especially when they went down by the 17, but here they are right back in this game.
Vitale, jumper, swish.
There was a great job of curling off the screen, and the guy guarding the screener didn't give any help.
Under a minute to go in the first. Barkley wants 3 more, not this time, and Vitale skies for the board. And Jalen Adams will call timeout. Kevin Ollie with his use it or lose it timeout here in the first half.
Vitale, that's not good defense. You got to be much closer to a guy, so he curls in the lane. The guy guarding the screen doesn't give any help. That is way too easy.
There's a difference of 15 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock. Adams, offensive foul called on the sophomore, and that's his second.
That's a charge.
So the shot clock turned off with 25 seconds remaining.
If they get out of here under 10, they'll have done something. You got to go with like 4 to give yourself enough time to maybe get an offensive rebound.
Nice cut from White, but a foul is called on Adams, and that's his 3rd.
Wow.
Wow. And I'll say this, one of the walk-ons, Michael Noyes, went to the scorer's table but couldn't get in time. Now, I don't know if he was coming in for Adams or not, But I think that Kevin Ollie was thinking of taking Adams out for that last set.
I'm sure he was coming in for Jalen Adams.
Oh, they changed it now. It's on Vital and not Adams. That's a break for UConn. That would have been Adams' third.
And Adams did have his hand around his waist.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question.
They got a break there.
That would have been a horrendous foul. That wasn't like Breima's, where Breima didn't touch him and was trying to back away. That would have been a bad foul.
4 seconds to go, and Jackson saves it. 1 second left. Adams, he's done this before. And not this time. You remember back to the American Conference Tournament last year. And
Falling off the court, guys.
all right, Tina, thank you very much. When leading at the half this year, UConn is 4-4, trying to close out East Carolina on its home court tonight.
Well, one thing we got to keep our eye on, Andrew, is there's 3 guys on this UConn team with 2 fouls.
Breima, Adams, and Vital. The 3 players with 2 fouls on a night when UConn is shorthanded once again. Adams, he's now got a dozen.
See, that's just way too easy. And Michael Perry said it. The defense was much better at the end of the half, but not so much for the first 12 or 14 minutes. That was not good defense there. They've gotten to the basket way too easy.
Hughes' 3 won't go, and the weak side rebound to Jackson. Big bounce back game for Jalen Adams tonight. He was held to just 3 points on 1 of 10 shooting Thursday at SMU, but he has played well on both ends of the floor this evening. And Breima with the soft touch down low. Breima into double figures. He's got 10 points. Another guy with a nice bounce back game after a tough week against Georgetown and SMU. Riak cuts, turns around, and scores.
That was a very good pass by Andre Washington. He catches it in the short corner. They dive the big man. He looks opposite in the paint. Great job on offense.
Only 8 minutes in the first half for Washington because of 2 fouls. Adams, 2 more. Jalen Adams feeling it tonight.
When you're guarding the best player on the court, not the best player there, he's the best player on the court. You've got to be a little bit more aggressive than that.
White for 3. The follow by Hughes. Coming out of nowhere and getting up to throw it down.
Somebody's got to put a body on him. He comes flying in from the wing. Everybody looking at the basket. Nobody looking for a body.
Somewhat of a homecoming for Hughes, a native of Beacon, New York. He played 1 year of high school ball at the South Kent School in Connecticut. Breima did not have to touch that time. Offensive board, Facey goes back up with it and doesn't get the roll. And there's Hughes to come away with it. Numbers for the Pirates. Hughes end-to-end. Scoop shot won't go. And a steal by Barkley. Barkley trying to go coast to coast. Wild shot, and he's fouled.
Well, Kentrell Barkley's not bad himself when it comes to transition. A very good athlete, and that is clearly a foul.
First foul on Vance Jackson. And now Barkley at the line. 67% on the season.
And you know, it's not the easiest thing to have to play defense and have in your mind, because it's such an emphasis for Kevin Ollie that you can't foul. So, I mean, it takes away a lot of your aggressiveness. That's not an easy thing to do, to play good defense and not foul.
Lane violation on UConn. And Barkley will get another free throw.
I mean, it sounds easy when you tell somebody, okay, don't foul, but you want them to still play good defense. It's not like you want them to just let the other team score.
So Vance Jackson was called for the foul and the lane violation, and it does not cost UConn a point. 44-33, Huskies lead by 11.
They trail that screen again.
Facey jumper. And tipped around to Caleb White. White just 3 points tonight. This after he was scoreless last Sunday against Cincinnati. Barkley is... They're going to call an offensive foul.
That's how it hit me initially. I thought it was an offensive foul. He looked like he was out of control here. He gives the shot fake. Yeah, he's bowling some people over there.
First foul on Barkley, who leads all scorers with 15 points. And a violation against UConn.
3 seconds.
3 seconds called down low.
That's one of those calls when you're a coach and they call 3 seconds against you, say, come on. Really?
So the ball back to the Pirates, trying to stop a 5-game losing streak and also looking for their first road victory of the year. They're 0-5 away from home.
You know, Kentrell Barkley, he's a point forward. He's playing point guard for them.
7 on the shot clock. Hughes guarded by Purvis. Now Facey picks him up. 3 to shoot. Hughes deep 3. And that's way off the mark. And Brima is able to hold on to it and get it over to Adams 4 minutes into the second half.
And, you know, Andrew, they have a pretty big injury, too. East Carolina, B.J. Tyson, their leading scorer, not playing.
Second straight game without Tyson, who injured his leg against Houston and is out indefinitely. And as Michael Perry told us before the game, it's not just the scoring they miss, it's his leadership. 5 to shoot for UConn. Jackson short on the shot, gets it back, and a fresh shot clock for UConn.
UConn not the greatest in a half-court situation either. They're at their best when they're getting it up and down in transition.
Here's Facey. Hands off to Purvis, inside 10 on the shot clock. It's Purvis for 3, in and out, and the rebound to Barkley.
That was a pretty good defensive set by East Carolina. That time they were very active. They switched when they needed to. They didn't give up an easy shot.
Washington draws the double, splits it, and can't finish. Barkley gets it back. It won't go, but the tip by Washington is good.
That was a very good move by Andre Washington. He stepped through the double team. That double team's got to be a little stronger and not let a guy step through it.
Purvis catch and shoot, and it's good. Quick answer by UConn. The lead remains 11 with 14 and a half to go. Shepard at the scorer's table for the Pirates. White deep 3, it's good. Caleb White, who's really been struggling from deep, is able to put that one in.
Well, UConn goes to the 1-3-1 there, and they got spread out by East Carolina, figuring they're not a good three-point shooting team. Their best three-point shooter finally made one.
Facey in close. No good, and the rebound to Washington, and a foul is called.
They did score 94.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? They did lose the game, but they scored 94, so offensively they still had it going.
And the foul before our last commercial was on Brima. That's his third. He goes to the bench for Kevin Ollie. 46-38.
And they go right into Washington, which they should. He's powered over Kenton Facey.
Washington lost it going up.
But Facey did a good job taking away. I can't emphasize enough. Washington shoulder, Facey wouldn't let him, and that's why he ended up turning it over.
Facey drives, and a foul is called on Washington. That'll be his third.
Well, take a look at this defense here by Facey and see where he's overplaying that left shoulder. On the left, look where he is. He's taking that left shoulder and not letting him go that way, and he still wants to go that way, and it ends up getting blocked, air ball, whatever it was.
Facey at the line. And needs 1 point and 1 rebound for his 4th double-double of the year. There's the point. The road to the Final Four continues tomorrow on CBS Sports Network with a Patriot League showdown at 7 Eastern when American travels to the Bay State to take on defending conference tournament champ Holy Cross, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. One more for Facey. He's now got 11 points and 9 rebounds. Had a double-double Thursday against SMU, 13 and 10. 7 minutes into the second half. UConn by 10, and that one's going back to the Huskies. Turnover number 5 on the Pirates.
Elijah Hughes just lost that there.
And Washington back on the bench where he was most of the first half because of foul trouble. He's got 3. Jabari Craig back into the ball game. And a whistle, and this one's going against East Carolina.
That was a good call by Kevin Ollie. Kevin Ollie was telling the ref, he's holding him to the post. You know, coaches can referee pretty good, too. They tend to favor their own team a little bit, but...
I didn't know that about you. Do you have
No,
some experience?
not at all.
Doing that?
I was very impartial during games.
Yes, I'm sure. The foul was on Craig. Here's Jackson. Fakes the 3, drives in, and he draws the foul. So Jackson will go to the line. Foul's on Inzighi. UConn's done a good job at the line tonight. They're 9 out of 10, but just 65% on the season. A lot of injuries on that UConn bench. Stephen Enoch, Jawan Durham not playing tonight because his foot was stepped on at SMU. They're calling it a sprained foot. And Ollie told us that Durham is day-to-day. White for 3. And he chases down the long rebound. Here's Shepard. Hands off to Craig. Blocked by Facey. Great defense by Kenton Facey. But it comes back out and they work it around to Shepard, who finds the bottom.
That was a really good pass. He had his feet set that time on the three-point shot and was able to make that one.
7-point game with 12 minutes to go. East Carolina not going away here in Hartford. Adams wide open. It's good.
That was more than wide open.
17 points for Jalen Adams. They throw it into Craig. Back out White. 10 on the shot clock. White bounces it for Inzighi. Inzighi goes up, won't go. And the rebound to Shepard. Tips it back out. And saved by Wilkins. East Carolina trying to get a good shot. Shot clock now inside 10.
Somebody's got to make a play.
White, deep 3 straight away. Offensive rebound to Wilkins. Back up and he's fouled. Fouls on Jalen Adams, and that's his 3rd.
Villanova tried to recruit Billy Owens, who was a great player. Went to your alma mater, as a matter of fact.
Thankfully.
Another one we lost. But Jeff Lebo was a great player at North Carolina. He's a really good coach. He did a good job at Auburn. He always has managed to have tough jobs, though. He never has an easy job. East Carolina's a good job, tough job. And I think they got some good young players in place right now to build on.
Yeah, and Michael Perry, as Tina told us earlier, said he wasn't going to change anything. He wants just the same message, new voice. But there is one thing he did differently. He named game day captains. Andre Washington and Kentrell Barkley are his game day captains. The regular captains are Caleb White and Michelle Inzighi. And without B.J. Tyson, Michael Perry thought they needed a little more of a vocal presence, and he thought that both Barkley and Washington could provide that. That's something he's going to continue doing as the interim head coach.
It's a good idea, and I'm sure he threw that by Jeff Lebo, too, and let Jeff, put his blessing on it. But it's great to have a guy like Michael Perry who's done this before, was a head coach before, so he comes in here and he's not going to be in awe.
Wilkins on the steal. Wilkins blocked by Brima. Amina Brima hustling back, but ECU still has it. Shepard for 3. And the tip by Inzighi is good.
You know, they're playing hard. That's one thing. Their effort in the second half has been much better, much more bouncy, showing some of their athleticism, and it's making a big difference.
And UConn has Jalen Adams on the bench right now with 3 fouls. Brima on the floor with 3 fouls.
I think I'd bring Washington back and try and go at Brima a little bit.
And a whistle on the perimeter against Inzighi. That's his second.
Well, Amita Brima is the 3rd best shot blocker in the history of UConn. That was what you call tracking somebody down. I don't know what Craig was trying to do with this rebound here. That was a bizarre shot, to say the least.
Adams
It did not go unnoticed.
No, noted. Adams is back in. And it's Jackson to the bench. Vitale attacks and scores. The freshman looking good.
If there's one thing that has hurt the half-court defense of East Carolina, it's been the curl cut by UConn. There was another example of a curl into the lane that results in a layup. You're going to see there coming right into the lane, not getting help, not getting any help at all from the screener, who in that case was Inzighi. Inzighi needs to step off his man a little bit there and stop that cutter.
Foul was on Vitale. He's got 3, so 3 UConn players with 3 fouls apiece. And all 3 on the floor right now. 9:20 to go. Purvis slices through the D and draws the foul.
The one thing you cannot do is let a guy split a pick and roll like that. You split 2 defenders, now automatically you're 5 against 3 because those 2 guys are gone. They're out of the play. Can't allow that to happen.
Look at the UConn foul trouble. Vitale, Adams, and Brima all with 3 as Purvis sinks the first free throw. Substitutions for East Carolina. Barkley and Riak return. Wilkins and Inzighi, who picked up his 3rd foul, go to the bench. One more for Rodney Purvis. And Jabari Craig tracks it down in the corner. 10-point game, 9 minutes to go. We'll see what Michael Perry decides to bring back Andre Washington. Seven on the shot clock. White over to Barkley. I'm not sure he's aware. Now he is. He shoots, and it's off the side of the rim. Purvis, 18-footer. It's good.
He sized his man up and made that look easy. You know why? Because it was easy.
First time in 4 games that Purvis, who's in double figures, he's got 11, and now Washington hops off the bench for the Pirates. A steal by Purvis. Purvis tracks it down. Purvis lays it in. Timeout, East Carolina. Michael Perry is signifying for it, and he's got it. And a fist bump from Kevin Ollie.
Well, we talked about it in the open. In this shooter, a good player.
7-0 run for UConn, and Purvis has 6 of the 7 points.
And now look at UConn. They go to a 2-3 zone, and they trap the wing pass, and East Carolina throws it out of bounds.
Timeout on the floor, 7:44 to go. Michael Perry's team down 14. 5 straight games.
I think Cincinnati and SMU locks for the NCAA are pretty close. Not locks, obviously they'll keep winning. Pretty good chance to get in the NCAA tournament. After that, Memphis chance, Houston chance, Central Florida chance. Maybe Tulsa chance. And UConn, don't forget the tournament on this floor.
I'm sure the rest of the league has not forgotten as Vitale misses the lay-in, gets it back, and this time it goes. White puts one up and he hits. That's a 2 for Caleb White.
Shot that with a lot of confidence for a guy who's been struggling.
He's got 8 points. UConn led by as many as 20. The lead right now is 14.
Well, they already saw the last time they got a big.
And UConn has called timeout with 6:42 to go. A big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I hope he doesn't have one eye on another screen in the truck right now.
That would be very unprofessional.
No, very unprofessional. Purvis feeds Brima, and he took too many steps. 10 UConn turnovers today. They had 16 on Thursday at SMU. Kevin Ollie highlighted that in our pregame talk with him. They had to be more solid with the basketball today. Four to shoot. Hughes gonna have to put one up. White does, and he puts it in. Caleb White with the shot clock expiring.
And you know, the last time UConn got up big in the first half, what happened? They ended up cutting the lead all the way back to 7. So this team's not going to go away.
Second 3 tonight for Caleb White. He's into double figures with 11. Purvis trying to answer, and he does.
Now that was bad defense by Elijah Hughes. You got your hand down. You know, you forget about how he's shooting this year. You know the guy has a reputation of being a shooter. You got to have a hand up.
I think Purvis was pretty conservative in the first half. He had a lot of open shots that he passed on. He's taking a few more of those here in the second half, and it's paid off. Purvis has 16. He's open again, and Adams will slow it up. Adams floater gets the roll. Jalen Adams has 19. 5 rebounds and 4 assists. A nice night for the sophomore Adams. Inside 5 minutes to go. Shepard at the scorer's table for ECU. That shot is blocked. Barkley blocked by Facey. Out of bounds to the Pirates.
Well, you're going to see on this 3, Vital knows the shot clock is running down, and he ends up giving way too much help in the lane. All right, we can run it right there. You see number 1 coming in here, and he's leaving the best three-point shooter on East Carolina open with the shot clock winding down. That was not good defense.
Kenton Facey is playing good defense. He's got 4 blocks. That's 1 off his career high. Caleb White has found his shot here in the second half.
You're starting to see why this guy's one of the leading scorers in the history of the school.
Making his 103rd start tonight. That's tied for the 4th most in school history. And the program record is 109. So if he stays healthy, he will surpass the mark set by Tony Parham. Brima faces up, misses. Offensive rebound, Facey had it poked away, and here comes Shepard. Shepard out to White, passes on the 3, finds a wide open Hughes, knocks it down. Timeout, East Carolina.
Dictate how they play. Coach Ollie says it's up to Jalen to not let that happen on the floor.
Yeah, a really uncharacteristic night for Adams on Thursday at SMU. 1 of 10 shooting, 5 turnovers. But he's bounced back in a big way tonight. Now some pressure from East Carolina. UConn breaks it. Vital in the front court.
They came with the aggressive full court pressure there. Had a pretty good track, too, on the corner.
Vital to Purvis. Tough pass handled by Adams with 7 to shoot. Adams drives off the side of the glass, and here come the Pirates in transition. It's Hughes out to a wide open Shepard. Rebound to Vital. That was a great opportunity for the Pirates.
Yeah, that's one of those ones you got to make. Spotted up Shepard right in the corner. That's not his strength right now, three-point shooting.
Adams Adams comes to get it with 3 minutes remaining. Brima is fouled going up. That's going to go on Washington, and that's his 4th.
Well, Andre Washington let him catch that way too deep. I mean, Brima basically had 2 feet in the lane. You let a guy catch the ball there, you almost guaranteed to foul.
Brima has played 27 minutes tonight, which is more than he played in the last 2 games combined because of foul trouble. He's got 10 points. And speaking of foul trouble, there's Washington, who will stay in the game with 4.
Well, maybe for Amita Brima, the message has been heard. Now, he isn't playing against a great offensive center tonight either to really test him when it comes to the fouls.
Caleb White looking for 3 more, but this one is wide left. Vital hands off for Adams. And UConn can use a little clock here with 2.5 to go. Huskies head to South Florida for their next game on Wednesday night. Purvis for 3. In and out, but a good look from Rodney Purvis.
Well, they ran a lot of clock there, got a pretty good look at the end of it. They need to attack the basket.
Hughes does, blocked by Brima. Purvis in transition, one-on-one with White. Purvis puts it up high off the glass, and Kevin Ollie not happy with that.
He should have pulled that out. You're up 12 with 2 minutes to go. You got to pull that one out.
Shepard connects from the outside.
And that just compounds it now. Rodney Purvis should know better.
One timeout. Have not had a losing season in 30 years. That was Jim Calhoun's first year with the Huskies. Pirates come up with the turnover.
3 national championships later.
Worked out all
4,
right.
actually. I'm sorry, 3 for Jim Calhoun and 1 for Kevin Ollie.
Hughes for 3. This would make it a little more interesting. Misfires. Offensive rebound. Barkley won't go. Tipped around to Brima.
I think you got to foul one time. You're down 9, 110. You got to foul.
And now they do foul. They foul the freshman Christian Vital, who's a 73% free throw shooter, with 1:05 to go. And he makes the front end. When we met with Michael Perry before the game, we asked him if he was excited, nervous, or his emotions, and he said he was definitely excited to be the head coach, but knew that it was the responsibility that he had to Jeff Lebo and to the players to get them ready to play tonight. It wasn't about him. It was about the kids as they try to stop a 5-game losing streak. But it looks like that streak will extend to 6 going into their game Wednesday against Tulsa. Final minute here in Hartford.
UConn's defense has been solid without fouling.
Oh, and a turnover. White just threw it away. A miscommunication with Shepard. 8th East Carolina turnover.
UConn 4 fouls for the entire half, yet was able to play solid defense.
And Kevin Ollie managed, at least to this point, just to stick with the 6 scholarship players. Did not need to go to a walk-on, and a travel is called on Vital. Pirates have to go quickly. Shepard to Barkley for 3. It's good. No timeouts left for East Carolina. They trail by 8. They got a foul.
Got a foul. They wasted all that time.
And Adams to Brima to finish off the Pirates.
I mean, you had to foul in the backcourt on that one.
10-point game with 20 seconds to go. And it will stay with East Carolina.
I mean, you had a chance to foul him in the backcourt long before Jalen Adams got there. And then Amita Bryant dunked.
Hughes' three won't go. Back out to Hughes, to Shepard for a corner three, and that one will go. 70-63 with 10 seconds remaining. Purvis inbounds to Facey, and they foul with 8.9 to play. What a night for Jalen Adams. 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. 3 turnovers for Adams. He had 5 on Thursday night at SMU, and now here come the walk-ons for Kevin Ollie. Christian Foxen, the junior from Rocky Hill, Connecticut, and Michael Noyes, the senior from Granby, Connecticut, both check into the game.
I'm sure Kevin Ollie happy to put the walk-ons in now and happy that he didn't feel he had to put them in earlier.
Well, Foxen actually had an injured back and was unavailable the other night at SMU, so we asked Ollie before the game, is he available? And Kevin said, we've got 6 guys, and he's a walk-on. He better be available.
Yeah. If a walk-on smells a chance to play,
he's healthy.
He's healthy.
100%. Here comes another walk-on. Restinel Lamati out of Branford, Connecticut. And also Omateo Ayegbusi. So all 4 walk-ons in for UConn with 2.5 to go. And that will do it. 72-65 is our